It's an exciting day. We finally get to construct our artwork and put all the pieces together. We've spent so many weeks working through, so today's the day. We're excited. So a couple of things I did quickly to prepare for this particular step was, first of all, I washed my hands really well with some grease cutting dish soap. I wanted to make sure they were completely clean, no body oils or anything like that on them, because I don't want to put any schmutzes on anything. And you know, I don't have any gloves, and I don't know that I would feel comfortable handling things with gloves. You know, they can be slippery, whatever. So I washed my hands. Pretty simple. Second thing was I cleaned my surface I'll be working on, and I cleaned it really well. And put this paper down. And this will help protect the materials as well as we move forward. So we have a few things we need to do before we start the construction. So let's go ahead and get on get started on those. Now the first thing we're going to do is we are going to attach our artwork to our matting. The way we're going to do this, we're going to use what's referred to as the hinge method, and what that is you take tape and attach it to the top part of the matting. Now you don't put any tape anywhere else, you allow the artwork to hang freely. This gives the artwork room to breathe. As atmosphere changes, the paper can absorb moisture or become drier, and it will change size because of that. If you have it really buckled in there, that's how you get those wavy things on the sides and whatever. You know, you don't give the artwork room to move and breathe. So we're gonna just hinge it at the top, and we're gonna use a method called the T-hinge, which I'll show you how that works here. All right, I'll be right back with the matting, and some linen tape I have to do the hinging with. All right, so I've placed the artwork face down on this work paper, and I'll go ahead and apply the linen tape to the back. Then I'll flip it over. We will attach the matting, flip it back over, and complete the T-square formation. All right. All right. So this is 1-inch linen hinging tape, specifically designed for this function. So we just put it in a nice space here on the back. I've cut them about 2 inches long. Gives you plenty of room to put it, you know, a good chunk on the artwork and on the matting itself, so we can feel like there'll be a good strong grip. Okay. All right. So here we have 2 pieces, and we're gonna flip the artwork, and you see the tape there now. Okay, we're gonna lay the mat onto the artwork, and then we're just going to gently press where the tape is. Just make sure the art is completely covered as we want it to be. All right, we will just gently press in these 2 spots. We don't want to rub, because you can rub off oils. And we'll flip this. You see how it's hinged? All right, now we can do a little better pressing on it. We just don't want to do that when on the face of the matting. So, all right, now we're going to complete our T-hinge. Basically, if we consider that we have just placed the tape vertically, we're just going to place it horizontally to reinforce the tape that's on the matting. And that, my friends, how you make a T-hinge. All right, one more piece. We are ready to move on to the next step. I have a little piece here that's buckled. I don't want the tape. I don't want that to be there, so I'm going to trim it off. because I don't want it to add in any bulk to the back of the picture as we stack these things up in the rabbit. All right. All right, so that's nice and flat. Okay. All right, so we have our artwork attached to our matting. The next thing we need to do is we need to clean our acrylic. All right, so here we have our piece of acrylic that we purchased. There's fingerprints, there's smooches on it, whatever. We're gonna make that all nice and clean before we go to construct this. Now what I've purchased is this bottle of PlexiClean. This is specifically designed for cleaning acrylic and plexiglass. So let's go ahead and get the material on here. A little bit of, that's a nice sound. A little bit of elbow grease, a little bit of paper towels. All right, we're going to flip it, touching only the edges at this point. Take a quick look at it and see how happy we are with that. So there's some scratches on here from manufacturing, but generally it looks okay. I'm not terribly happy with that, but we are where we are. All right. With the artwork hinged up, with the acrylic cleaned, we're ready to start putting our art together. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm excited. It's finally here. Here we go. All right. We have our frame. We have our acrylic. It's fitting a little tightly, but that's okay. Does not matter. Acrylic in. We have our art and our matting. Make sure that the art does not get underneath the mat. Oh Lord. We have the art and the matting in. Now normally I would back this with foam board. However, when I purchased this molding, I did not pay attention to the depth of the rabbeting. The depth of the rabbeting was only 5/8 of an inch, which does not give us enough depth to put our foam board in. So what I've done is cut another piece of matting, and we'll place that over the back, and that'll be our backing piece. There we are. So, now comes the coup de grace. We have to secure all of this into the frame, and what we're going to do that with is our Logan model F500-2 dual point driver. That is this tool right here. Looks like a staple gun, but it shoots out the points this way, and they go into the frame and secure this. Now I'm using soft points here because the wood, as has been proven, is soft wood. Also with these points you can bend them and take the art out at some future time. So this will be soft points. We'll be driving this, and the instructions say to go no closer than 3 inches to the quarter, and then put 1 every 6 inches. So let's go ahead and put in our points. All right. And there we go, our art is now secured into the frame. We just have to do the finish work and we're done. Okay, our next step is to put a dust cover on the back of the picture. What we need to do is apply some adhesive to the frame, and then we'll use this paper right here, and we will attach the frame to the paper. We'll trim the paper, and we'll be ready to do our finish work, okay? All right, so let's apply some adhesive. Okay, with the adhesive on, we're just going to flip the portrait over onto the paper, and it will adhere, and then we will trim the paper off. So we'll do some rough trimming first. And then some more accurate trimming in a moment. That one's probably fine. Now what we have is the Logan F60 dust cover trimmer. So we're going to flip this over, trim the dust cover, and we're only 2 steps away from being done. All right, so if you see on this trimmer, we've got a razor blade here. We're just going to place the blade on the frame, press against the picture, and pull. And as you see, that is very nicely and smoothly trimmed that top edge. Okay, we have to make sure we hold this at a 45-degree angle to make sure it's really cutting the paper. This is a little bit thicker paper than you would normally use, so just, you know. And I think there's adhesive here as well that's interfering with the cut. But, there we go. Let's just flip this over for ease of continuation. There we have it. We have a trimmed dust cover. And there are 2 steps left to complete. We want to put our hanging hardware on and our bumpers on. Bumpers are pretty easy, not necessary, but I think it goes a little ways to completing the overall professionalism of the piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the picture, and about 1/3 of the way down from the top we're going to insert the D-rings and the wire for our hanging. So let's make sure we have this pointed the right direction. Okay, the top is on the right. So the overall length of this is 33 inches. So 1/3 of that will go 11 inches, and that's where we'll put in our D-rings. All right, so we've marked our frame about 1/3 of the way down, which is about 11 inches in this instance. We're gonna make a little tiny score with our drill to act as a guide for the hardware. And then we're gonna attach our D-rings. Okay. So we have our D-ring hardware, 2 D-rings, and 2 screws. All right, let's attach our screws. There's one. All right. Oops. A little more. There we go. All right. So there's our D-rings. Now the wire. And the way we will do the wire is we will just tie it in a knot, and then whatever's left over we will wrap around. So, trying to undo this coil without there becoming a disaster of wire everywhere. So we're going to run it through. I'm going to tie a knot. We're going to wrap it. And this next side we're just going to pull tight and then give a few extra inches and then do the same thing. All right, so let's finish the tie. Okay, a little loose, that's okay. Needs to have a little bit of play. We'll wrap the wire. You may not be able to see this, sorry. It's not very exciting, but it is complete. And our last piece are the bumpers. So I bought a big mess of these sheets of bumpers here. We just peel them off, put them on. That easy. And we're done. The project is complete. Took quite a bit of time. A lot of time waiting on materials to arrive. But I must say I'm pretty pleased with the results, as you can see right here. Just a quick overview of the front and the back. And I must say I'm pretty happy with the way things have worked out with this. I think it's a beautiful piece and it's going to look great in our home. All right, so This is the last of the technical videos. I have one more video I want to make on this where I want to do a summary of the project, our lessons learned, money issues, and discuss all of the administrative aspects of a project like this. And when when that's done, this series will be over. But thanks for coming by and watching. Thanks for sharing this time with me, and I hope you learned something from what I've been trying to share with you. So y'all take it easy.